Imagine standing in a crowd of thousands, flags waving, music rising, powerful voice echoes through loudspeakers, telling you that your nation is humiliated, that enemies are everywhere, that only one strong leader can restore greatness. If your heart beats faster, the people around you begin to cheer. And before you even realize it, you're cheering too. You think you're making your own decision, but are you? Today we're diving into how powerful leaders use psychology to control the masses and how it changed the world forever. If you enjoy deep, thought-provoking stories like this, make sure you hit like and subscribe to The Rational Historian. It helps the channel grow and allows us to keep uncovering the hidden patterns behind history's biggest events. Throughout history, leaders have understood something most people overlook. Humans are emotional first, rational second. We like to believe we make decisions based on logic. But in moments of fear, pride, anger, or hope, emotion takes the wheel. The most powerful leaders didn't just give orders. They shaped feelings. And when you shape feelings, you shape behavior. Take Adolf Hitler. Before he became the dictator of Germany, he was a master of emotional manipulation. Germany after World War I was humiliated, economically broken, and politically unstable. People were desperate. Hitler didn't begin with complex policies. He began with emotion. He gave people a simple story. You are not weak. We're betrayed. That message turned shame into anger. And anger is powerful. Psychologists call this scapegoating, blaming a specific group for complex problems. By repeating simple slogans, creating a clear enemy, and presenting himself as the only solution, he built loyalty that overpowered reason. Massive rallies, dramatic lighting, coordinated chants, these weren't random. They were carefully designed psychological experiences. When thousands of people chant together, individuality fades. You don't feel alone. You feel part of something larger. And that feeling can override critical thinking. But Hitler wasn't the only one who understood mass psychology. Joseph Stalin used fear in a different way. Where Hitler used emotional excitement and national pride, Stalin used paranoia. Under his rule in the Soviet Union, people never knew who might be watching. Neighbors reported neighbors. Friends disappeared overnight. This created what psychologists call learned helplessness. When people feel they have no control, they stop resisting. Stalin didn't need everyone to love him, just needed them to feel powerless. Fear became a system of control. And when fear becomes normal, obedience follows. Then there was Mao Zedong. During the Cultural Revolution in China, Mao mobilized millions of young people known as the Red Guards. He appealed to youth identity, purpose, and moral righteousness. Young people want meaning. They want to feel like they're changing the world. Mao gave them that feeling, framed his political campaign as a moral revolution. Suddenly attacking teachers, intellectuals, even family members felt like defending the future. When ideology becomes tied to morality, disagreement feels like evil. And when people believe they are morally superior, they justify extreme actions. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. These psychological techniques aren't limited to dictators. Democratic leaders, corporations, and media systems also use them just in subtler ways. Think about propaganda. During World War II, governments on all sides used posters, films, and radio broadcasts to influence citizens. Heroes were glorified. Enemies were dehumanized. Fear was amplified. Hope was carefully directed. When people feel united against a common threat, they are easier to mobilize. This taps into something called social identity theory. Humans naturally divide the world into us and them. Once that line is drawn, loyalty strengthens within the group, and hostility grows toward outsiders. Leaders who understand this don't need complex arguments. They just need a clear division. Once that division feels personal, rational debate fades. Another powerful psychological tool is repetition. If you hear something once, you question it. If you hear it 100 times, it starts to feel true. Psychologists call this the Illusory Truth Effect. Repetition builds familiarity. Familiarity builds trust. Even today, political campaigns use simple, repeatable phrases. Short slogans, clear enemies, strong promises. The formula hasn't changed much over the past century. Only the platforms have. Charisma also plays a huge role. Think about John F. Kennedy. While not a tyrant, Kennedy understood image and inspiration. His speeches created hope during tense moments of the Cold War. He projected confidence and calm. Humans are wired to respond to confident leaders. In uncertain times, certainty feels safe. Whether that certainty is accurate or not often becomes secondary to how it makes people feel. And crowds change people. When individuals blend into large groups, something called de-individuation happens. Personal responsibility weakens. People act in ways they never would alone. We saw this not only in authoritarian rallies, but in many historical mass movements around the world. The energy of a crowd can feel intoxicating. It gives people permission to act beyond their usual limits. Media evolution made these psychological strategies even more powerful. Radio gave leaders a direct voice into homes. Television added facial expressions and body language. Today, social media adds speed and personalization. Algorithms amplify emotional content because emotion drives engagement. Anger spreads faster than calm discussion. Fear spreads faster than balanced analysis. Leaders who understand this dynamic can shape public perception in real time. But not every use of psychology leads to destruction. Martin Luther King Jr. used similar principles: emotion, symbolism, repetition, for a moral cause. His "I Have a Dream" speech appealed to hope and shared identity. He framed civil rights not as revenge, but as justice. Now, the psychology was powerful, but the direction was different. This reminds us that psychology itself is neutral. It's a tool. Its impact depends on who wields it and why. So what changed the world wasn't just policies or wars. It was the understanding of the human mind. Leaders who mastered mass psychology reshaped nations. They redirected anger, hope, fear, pride. They built loyalty. They silenced dissent. They inspired revolutions. They also caused unimaginable suffering. The real question is this: are we immune today? Most people believe they would never fall for manipulation, but every generation thinks that. We all believe we are rational. Yet we all respond to emotion. We all seek belonging. We all fear uncertainty. The difference between control and freedom often lies in awareness. When you see repeated slogans, ask yourself why they're repeated. When a leader paints the world as a battle between pure good and absolute evil, pause. When fear becomes constant, question who benefits from that fear. Critical thinking is not automatic. It's a skill. It requires effort. History shows us that mass psychology can build nations and destroy them. It can create unity and justify cruelty. The same emotional forces that inspired civil rights marches also fueled destructive regimes. Understanding this doesn't make us cynical, it makes us prepared. At The Rational Historian, our goal isn't just to retell events, it's to decode the patterns behind them. Because when you understand the psychology of the past, you become harder to manipulate in the present. Think about this. If you had lived in 1930s Germany, 1950s Soviet Union, or 1960s China, would you have resisted? Or would you have felt what millions felt? Fear, pride, hope, and followed the crowd? That question isn't meant to judge. It's meant to humble us. The human brain hasn't changed much in thousands of years. The tools of influence have simply become more sophisticated. The world changed because leaders learned how to move minds at scale. And in the digital age, scale is bigger than ever.
Ow.
One viral message can reach millions in minutes. Emotional narratives spread faster than fact checks. That means understanding psychology is no longer optional. It's essential. If this made you rethink how power really works, I want to hear from you. Do you think people today are more aware of manipulation or just exposed to more of it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share this video with someone who loves history and psychology. Conversations like this matter, because the more we understand how powerful leaders shape the past using psychology, the better prepared we are to protect our future.